What if I told you that the next trillion-dollar industry won't be built on Earth? Not on Wall Street, not in Silicon Valley, not even in China, but in space. For decades, the world's biggest challenge has been getting rockets into orbit. But as launch costs continue falling, a completely different opportunity is emerging. The real money may not come from launching rockets. It may come from building factories, laboratories, power stations, and entire industrial parks floating hundreds of miles above our planet. One company believes that's exactly where the future is headed. That company is Redwire. Today we're breaking down why Redwire could become one of the most important infrastructure companies in the future space economy, what makes its business different from traditional aerospace companies, and whether this stock deserves a place on investors' watch lists. Let's get started. The next space race isn't about rockets. When most people hear space investing, they immediately think about launch companies, reusable rockets, moon missions, Mars exploration. Those stories grab headlines. But here's something many investors overlook. A rocket only solves one problem: getting into orbit. Once you're there, you still need electricity, manufacturing equipment, research laboratories, satellite servicing, communications, transportation, construction, maintenance. In other words, you need infrastructure. Think back to the early days of the internet. Building fiber optic cables wasn't as exciting as launching websites, yet those companies became absolutely essential. The same thing could happen in space. Why space is becoming an economic opportunity. For decades, reaching orbit was incredibly expensive. Launching equipment into space cost so much that only governments could realistically participate. But that's changing rapidly. Reusable rocket technology, growing competition, improved engineering, commercial launch providers. All of these developments continue pushing launch costs lower. As transportation becomes cheaper, entirely new business models become possible. That's exactly why many investors are now looking beyond rockets. They're asking a different question. What happens after we arrive? Redwire's strategy is completely different. Unlike many space companies, Redwire isn't trying to become another rocket manufacturer. Instead, it's building the systems needed to support long-term activity in space. Its technology portfolio includes space infrastructure, satellite systems, power generation, space manufacturing, research platforms, microgravity technologies, spacecraft components. Rather than competing directly with launch providers, Redwire wants to supply the companies operating once those rockets reach orbit. That's an entirely different business model. The secret opportunity called microgravity. One of the most fascinating parts of Redwire's strategy revolves around something almost impossible to recreate on Earth: microgravity. When gravity is removed, certain materials behave differently. Liquids move differently. Crystals grow differently. Biological tissues develop differently. Even optical fibers can form with fewer imperfections. That creates manufacturing opportunities unavailable anywhere else. Instead of treating space as simply a destination, Redwire views it as an advanced manufacturing environment, and that could become incredibly valuable. Manufacturing materials impossible on Earth. Let's use a simple example. Imagine trying to build an incredibly delicate crystal. On Earth, gravity constantly pulls on the material while it's forming. Tiny imperfections develop. Now imagine building that same crystal while floating in orbit. Without gravity pulling everything downward, the structure can develop much more uniformly. For certain high-performance applications, that difference matters enormously. Even a small improvement in quality could justify significantly higher prices. That's why researchers continue exploring manufacturing in space, not because everything belongs there, but because certain products may perform substantially better. The ZBLN opportunity. One technology frequently discussed involves something called ZBLN optical fiber. Traditional optical fiber manufactured on Earth develops microscopic imperfections caused by gravity. Those imperfections reduce performance. Scientists believe producing ZBLN in microgravity could dramatically reduce those defects. If successful, that could create higher quality fiber for specialized industries requiring maximum performance. It's important to understand something here. This isn't about replacing every fiber optic cable in the world. It's about producing premium products where performance matters far more than manufacturing cost. And that's where space manufacturing becomes economically interesting. Beyond manufacturing materials, microgravity isn't limited to advanced materials. It also opens opportunities in biotechnology. Researchers continue studying whether complex biological structures can develop more effectively in space. Some experiments involve tissue engineering. Others focus on pharmaceutical research. Some explore future medical applications impossible under Earth's gravity. These projects remain early stage. They're not massive revenue generators today, but they illustrate something important. The space economy may eventually include industries that barely exist today, and companies building the infrastructure supporting those industries could benefit enormously. Redwire doesn't need every futuristic idea to succeed. That's simply not true. The company has exposure across multiple categories: space infrastructure, power systems, satellite technologies, research equipment, manufacturing platforms. If even a few of these markets expand significantly, Redwire could still benefit. Diversification reduces dependence on any single breakthrough, building the foundation of the space economy. Before factories operate, before commercial laboratories expand, before orbital hotels become a reality, someone has to build the foundation: reliable spacecraft, power systems, solar arrays, research equipment, autonomous systems, docking technologies, satellite servicing. These aren't glamorous headlines, but they're absolutely necessary. History shows that infrastructure often becomes one of the most valuable investments during major technological revolutions: railroads, electric grids, internet cables, cell towers, cloud computing. Every transformation required companies building the foundation first. Space could follow a very similar pattern: a long-term vision. One reason investors find Redwire interesting is because management isn't simply building products for today's space industry. They're positioning the company for what space may look like 10 or 20 years from now. That doesn't guarantee success, far from it. But it does mean Redwire is attempting to solve problems that could become increasingly important as commercial activity expands beyond Earth. And that's where the investment story becomes especially compelling. Because if humanity eventually builds a permanent industrial economy in orbit, somebody has to supply the infrastructure. Somebody has to provide the technology. Somebody has to power the entire system. The bigger question is whether Redwire can become one of those companies, and that's exactly what we'll explore next. But here's where things become incredibly interesting. Redwire doesn't need to dominate the entire space economy. It simply needs space itself to keep growing. Think about it. During the California gold rush, the people who consistently made money weren't always the miners. Many fortunes were built by selling the picks, the shovels, the tents, the transportation, the infrastructure. That's exactly the position Redwire hopes to occupy. Instead of betting everything on one moon mission, one rocket, or one satellite, the company is building technologies that almost every future space company could potentially need. And that's a much broader opportunity. The bull case. Let's start with why some investors believe Redwire could become one of the biggest winners in the next decade. First, the commercial space economy is still in its infancy. Today, satellites dominate orbital activity, but tomorrow, commercial space stations, orbital laboratories, in-space manufacturing, space tourism, satellite servicing, deep space infrastructure. These are all industries that barely exist today. If even a few of them become a reality, companies providing infrastructure could see explosive demand. Second, launch costs continue falling. Reusable rockets have completely changed the economics of reaching orbit. Every reduction in launch costs makes space manufacturing more realistic. Every improvement creates more customers. Every successful mission expands the total addressable market. Lower launch costs don't hurt Redwire. They actually help Redwire. Because the easier it becomes to reach space, the more infrastructure becomes necessary. Third, government support remains extremely strong. NASA continues funding commercial partnerships.
National security spending on space continues increasing. The Department of Defense increasingly views space as strategic infrastructure. That means Redwire benefits from both commercial growth and government contracts. Having multiple revenue sources reduces dependence on any single customer. Fourth, the company already possesses real technology. This isn't just concept art. ROSA solar arrays are flying. Spacecraft components are flying. Manufacturing experiments are happening today. That lowers execution risk compared to companies still trying to prove their technology works. The bear case. Now, let's discuss the risks, because there are plenty. The biggest one, time. Investors often underestimate how long new industries take to mature. The internet wasn't built overnight. Electric vehicles weren't adopted overnight. Artificial intelligence certainly wasn't adopted overnight. Space manufacturing may require another decade before becoming mainstream. If investors expect